Hello and welcome to this complete Java tutorial series from Tech. In this video, I will talk about Java syntax. What is a syntax? A syntax is a set of rules that we have to follow when we want to write code in a certain programming language. It's basically similar to syntax in human languages. In human languages such as English or Spanish or Amharic or Arabic, we have to follow some rules to effectively communicate with other speakers or with other readers of what we write. And syntax in programming languages is pretty much similar to syntax in human languages. The only difference is we are telling a computer to understand what we want it to do. For that, I have this small piece of code, and this code was small code that I wrote last time. If you have been following my videos, this code is from a previous video that I did. And I will be using this one to explain to you about Java syntax. So this will be more of a theoretical course. And don't worry if you don't understand everything I say here. If you get some idea of it, it will be clear when we go deep into coding, okay? Okay, fantastic. So the first line, on line number 1, it says package space com.mascotech, and see at the end it says semicolon. This is very, very important. So every line in Java ends with a semicolon. You see it here, you see it here, you see it here, here we have semicolon at the end. So this is required, and this is part of the syntax in Java. Okay, let's talk a little about what a package is. A package in Java, in this case, this one is it's like a folder or a directory where we put our code in. Let's go into the Explorer here, and on the side, you see on the Project Explorer, we have our project. It says hello. Let's expand that. And under that, there is a folder called src. Let's expand that as well. And then within it, you see this? You see this? It says com.mascotech. So it is similar to this. So we are telling in our code what package this file is, or in what folder it is located. So this refers to that. In this file, it says, see at the top here, hello.java, right? This is our file, the file that contains our code, and that is contained within this package. So a package is like a folder in Java program. So you see it within the package. I have this file, hello.java. Okay, so that's what we're doing here. And then we put semicolon here. If you don't put this, it will be, you see this red, this squigglies here, that means our code has a problem. So as soon as I put a semicolon in here, it goes away. Okay, let's go to the next one. The next one says import java.text.simple.date format. This one, importing in Java, is using another piece of code, maybe our own or somebody else's code. We don't write that code, but we just import it and use that code. So this is a piece of code written by somebody else. In this case, it's we are importing it from Java. I'm not taking it from someone else, from another person, but we have a couple of code within Java itself, and this one is coming from that. And one thing that I forgot to explain is, you see this color, this import has a different color than this one, right? And also this package has a different color, this import has this, all these have different colors. These words colored in this color are called keywords or reserved words. What are keywords? Keywords are words that the computer interprets them in a certain way. They are reserved. We cannot use those names for variables we create. We'll talk about the variables later. And these are called keywords. Just keep that in mind, okay? So in this case, this simple date format, this one is a class, and we'll talk about class down here. So this is a class, and it is contained within text package, and this one is contained within Java package. So we have different layers, okay? So that's it. You can consider this as a folder and subfolder, and then within it, this will be the file. Okay, that's it. So this is also similar. And in this case, I mean, if you were wondering what this one will do, this is like, we use this to create some kind of date format. Okay, the next one is also similar. We are importing, what are we importing in this case? java.util.date. Okay, sometimes we can do other imports. Let me see, for example, import java.util, I can say .star. This wildcard tells us I want to import everything within java.util package. So if we have 100 classes within this, I will be importing all of those. So this, you could also see something like this, like star. So that means star means everything. It's wildcard. Okay. Okay. Let's proceed. On line number 7, it says public class hello, and we have this curly brace. Well, what is a public? A public is an access identifier, and what it means is it public or is it private? We have about 3 types of access modifiers: public, private, and also protected. We'll talk about these when we talk about object-oriented programming. So this is an access modifier, and then the next one says class. Java is an object-oriented programming language, so everything we do is within a class. We have to have a class. So if I say public class hello, I am creating a class called hello. All right, so this tells this one is a class. And class names or identifiers, they are called identifiers in general. Could be a class, could be something that we have something called interfaces, and could be a variable. Those are, we call them identifiers. And those identifiers, it has to start with a letter. So a letter meaning A to Z in lowercase and A to Z in uppercase. It has to start with a letter, and then it can contain digits between 0 and 9, and we can have underscore. Underscore is this one, and not dash. We can have underscore, and we can have $sign also from special characters. But usually $sign is used by computers. So when we write code, we only use letters, that is from A to Z English letters, from A to Z uppercase, A to Z lowercase. We can use these, and we can add numbers, but it has to start with a letter, okay? And we can use underscore as well. In the case of a class starts with uppercase, okay? That it's not mandatory, but it's advisable to start with uppercase for classes. And if we have multiple words within a class, if, say for example, if it's hello world, we write it like this. Hello, the first will be uppercase, the others will be in lowercase, and the next word, it's a different word, right? World. So that starts with uppercase, and then the rest will be in lowercase. So this is how we write class names in Java. Let me say undo. And then you see curly braces. So when we create a class, we open this and then we close that one in here. So this one closes this curly brace. So for now, just we have to have these. Say we say public class, and then this curly brace, and then close it in here. And whatever we want to do, we put it within these curly braces. In a class, we have two things, and we have fields. Let's say if I say the string name equal to John. If I have something like this, a string name equals John semicolon, this is called field, and this one is called a method. A field is a variable where we store our data. This one is a field, name is a field. This is its data type, and this one is its value. We are assigning a value to it. Don't worry about that one. I just want you to have an understanding of it. So this is a field, and this one is a method. A method is something that does something. If this class does some action, that will be in a method. And if this class has some attributes, those are considered as fields. Okay, so in a class we have these two things, a field and a method. Okay, a Java program needs to have one main method. So the main class needs to have one main method, and we can have some more other methods. So this main is mandatory. So this one, for our program to work, we have to write it as is. This one we don't have to do this, but this one needs to be like public static void main, and then we say string, and then these args. Args could be given a different name, but the rest will be as is. But for now, just consider for your program to work, you need to have this line. Let's explain what this means. This on line number 9, public, tells us from where we can access this method. If it is public, we can access it from anywhere. If we say private, this can only be accessed within the class. And if it's protected, it can be accessed by other classes who inherit this hello class. We'll talk about this in object-oriented programming when we talk about that one. So this public is about that. And the second word says static. So static, when it is used in this case in a method, it tells the computer that this is a class method. What does it mean? It means, it may not be clear for you now. It will be clear when we talk about object-oriented programming later. But just to give you an idea, in object-oriented programming, we have the concept of objects and classes. So a class is like a blueprint, and an object is an instance of that blueprint. So we can have multiple instances out of a blueprint or out of an object. So if we make a method static, we don't need to create an instance of that class. So we can just use it with a class name without instantiating an object. If we instantiate an object, it uses some memory, and this static is about that one. Public static, void. Void is the return type. We'll talk about this when we talk about methods. So what does this action return? Does it return something to the calling function or to the calling method? So this is a return type. Just take it for now as that. And then this is the name of the method. And these are called arguments or parameters. Okay. So These are inputs that we provide to this method. And also methods also have this open curly brace and then close. We have to close them at the end. And whatever action we want to do, we put it within these curly braces. In this line number 10, it has double slash, and this is called a comment in programming. So what is a comment? A comment is not interpreted. The computer will not do anything with this one. This is for humans to read. It's just an explanation. So if I want to tell another programmer who's going to read about this, I will just write whatever I want to write in here. I don't have to follow anything. I have to just give this double slash. This double slash. You see the color also changed to green. We also have another comment in Java. So it is slash star, slash star, and then multi-line. Yeah, it's called multi-line comment. So I said slash star and enter, and you put it in here. So I can say this is a multi-line comment. So we have two kinds of comments. If you have just a single line, just use double slash. If you have multiple lines, use slash star and star slash. Let's move on. Okay, and then next it says date now. This date is a date that we imported. You see up here on line number 4, import java.util.date. So this is a date class that we are importing from Java. And this now is a variable that I created to hold the current date, and this is the data type of my variable. This equal sign is an assignment operator. So it's a variable to hold some data, and it is getting the data from here. I'm saying new date and this. Don't worry about this for now. Just consider this gives it the current date to this variable. And then on line number 16 also I am saying simple date format. This is also a class that I imported from Java. See on line number 3. And then this is my variable name. Variable names or identifiers, they need to start with a letter. So I started with F. And variables, they start with lowercase. And I told you that a class starts with an uppercase. This is uppercase H, and this now is lowercase, starts with lowercase. And this also starts lowercase because these are variables, not classes. So say formatter, new simple format. Let me hide this one. I am saying new simple date format. I'm using that class and giving it some value in here. It uses this as an input or as an argument, and then generates some data and gives it, stores it in this variable. And on line number 17, I have string date. This is my variable name. As you can see, variable names start with lowercase letter, so lowercase s, string. And then the next word, I capitalized it with capital D. A string date equals, or this is, as I told you, this is an assignment operator. So I'm giving it some value from where? From this variable. It's taken from this variable, and this is some kind of a function or a method. Methods are also called functions in other languages, but in object-oriented programming language, in a class, they're called methods. So format now, say semicolon. Notice the semicolon here. This data type is a string. Strings are like John. This is a string. We'll talk about data types in another video. And at the end, on line number 18, I have system.out.println. So if you want to print something to the screen, you have to use this one. say system.out.println. This is a method that prints whatever you provide in here into the screen. Okay, so these are arguments. We mentioned about the methods in here. I told you these are arguments or parameters, and this is also the same. We are giving it this string date, this one, and then this plus. When we use plus with strings, it is a concatenation operator. It's not an addition operator in this case. Appending this with this, appending another one, this one, and appending this. So you will have a combined this one attached with this, appended with this, and appended with this. That's all for today's video. I hope this was helpful to you, but if you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comments section. And also, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, and that gives me an encouragement to continue doing videos like this one. And also, if you're new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe so that you don't miss any episode, because I'm doing this in a series and I'm doing 1 or 2 videos a week, and I upload every Saturday. And thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.